8 minutes to 10 minutes, and the Q&A 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, so welcome to Learning by Saying on 14 July, and today we have our great speaker, Duong, who is enlightening us and enriching us with Tao Te Ching, the teachings of Lao Tzu. And thank you for sharing as a series, because I think every time we learn something new.
Okay.
So over to our speaker, Duong.
All right. Thank you, Sri. So tonight I will continue to discuss about this book. There are 81 chapters. Each chapter is like a poem, around maybe 5 or 6 lines. So this chapter is I will discuss is chapter 3. Is the title I call it is govern in harmony, which means like you are a leader and how to govern in keep your team in harmony, right? So first I will read the the chapters maybe 2 times. Then after that I will explain in this way this template. I will explain what's the meaning sentence by sentence. Then I will explain why is it so, and how we can apply. So what, why, and how, right? So let's start. First is the chapter starts like this. Putting a value on status will create contentiousness. If you overvalue the possessions, people begin to steal. By not displaying what is desirable, you will cause people's hearts to remain disturbed. The sage governs by emptying minds and hearts, by weakening ambitions and strengthening bonds. Practice not doing. When action is pure and selfless, everything settles into its own perfect place. So that's the end. So I read it one more time. Putting a value on status will create conscientiousness. If you overvalue possessions, people begin to steal. By not displaying what is desirable, you will cause the people's hearts to remain undisturbed. The sage governs by emptying minds and hearts, by weakening ambition and strengthening bonds. Practice not doing. When action is pure and selfless, everything settles in its own perfect place. Okay, so now I will explain it. As I mentioned, this is about how to govern as a leader and also even govern ourselves as well. The priority is to keep order or harmony. So the disorder is like this in the team. It's like, there's envy, jealousy, fighting, people steal from each other, or maybe think how to harm others, team members, to benefit oneself. So first sentence is putting a value on status will create conscientiousness. Okay, so when it means like when a leader praises or values or favors a talents, a specific team members, the other people will envy and wants to get that praise, favor, or compliments too. They will do and try to compete to get that. It's like you can think of the favoritism, right? It means if you single out one person, then the others will envy. Yeah. Second, if you overvalue possessions, people begin to steal. What it means is that when we put high value on a rare, expensive objects, we will want to accumulate because we treasures, right? Then we want to accumulate the rare and expensive objects, like for example jewelry, expensive cars, expensive handbags, expensive shoes. People will notice and want to steal because they want to own them as well. Third, by not displaying what is desirable, you will cause the people's hearts to remain undisturbed. Similarly, if we display desirable things, people will feel uneasy and disturbed um, in their hearts. Desirable things, as I mentioned, is also like a rare, expensive objects, expensive house, your own achievement, your honor, your knowledge, right? So second, the sage governs by emptying minds and hearts, by weakening ambition and strengthening bonds. The sage here refers to an enlightened leader. Okay, because of the above reasons, the leader will act in the following ways so that the group will be in harmony and in order. Uh, fill the bellies. The leaders make sure that the people have enough food to eat. It means that they let people to earn enough, maybe sufficient income, so they can take care of themselves and their family, and do not let them be hungry. This one I'm referring to, like if, for example, you are the manager or the boss of the company or the owner of the company, right? Strengthening bonds means that you make sure that the people you govern or lead, they are healthy, they don't get sick, they are well physically and mentally. Emptying their minds means that do not let the envy or jealousy get in the among of the team or the people under you. Remove the negative ideas of unhealthy competition, jealousy, fight, distrust among the members. Weakening the will is the same thing. Do not let the member have too much ambition for personal gain. Practice not doing, that's what Lao Tzu is saying. So it means that inaction or do not take action. Actually, this is or it means respect the nature of the things itself. It is the central idea of Lao Tzu's philosophy, or in Chinese it's called Wu Wei, right? Which means that we do not interfere with the natural being or the natural things of the group or of the people. Do nothing but follow the nature of the group or the things itself, right? When action is pure and selfless, everything settles into its own perfect place. It means that when the leader's actions are selfless, pure, the group he leads will have the order naturally by itself. Because the leader doesn't act for himself, for his own ego, for his own gain, the pupil will you have the order when you obey or will do the right things. People will love and care for each other and work for the common cause. Like let's say you are the leader of the company, right? You work for the benefit of the company and benefit of the staff, the people. So the people will will do the right thing. Uh, yeah. Okay. So let me explain why is it so. Why we do why the this is what Lao Tzu say makes sense, because humans have ego. Most people act for their self-interest and care for themselves. The ego says like I'm the center of the universe, I'm awesome, I'm kind, I'm beautiful, I'm number one, I must come first. So when we see other people's achievement, other people's possessions, other people's honors, the ego feels hurt because I'm not important or I'm not the best anymore. So the ego will say and direct our behavior. I must get that things. I must be important or more important than that person. I must earn more than that person. So let me take example like for example in Facebook, if you post a Facebook post of a new expensive car, will cause our friends feel uneasy. They will feel stressed, inferior or envious. Rich celebrities or top government officials need personal security guard because there are many people wanting to steal from them because normally they are rich, right? Or when people is getting rich, his family or friends or relatives will be jealous and want to borrow money and or to ask for favors. A person wearing expensive watch, jewelry, or a phone may get dropped in the street. So because of this trigger, people's mind and then greed. A beautiful girl wearing maybe too sexy or revealing clothes may cause the man's hearts and minds uneasy. Many will want to do the bad things. Or a child at home, for example, if you have more than one child, so a child might get jealous when the parents praises one another sibling or other siblings. Yeah. So how will I apply, or you may want to apply as well? This is just my suggestion. Be humble. Do not show the desirable things and do not show off, so that I won't disturb people's hearts. For example, I do not show people my income, even to my family members. I do not show my achievements, or I do not post Facebook my achievements, my medals or something, or the places I travel. Or do not boast my knowledge or talents. I do not compete with others, or do not show people my money or assets. Right?
9 minutes.
Okay, and do not use the luxury stuff or excessive, so that I will need to protect it. When I'm a leader, I act for the benefits of the people and do not let the unhealthy competition in the team, and be impartial with the members. Do not value or show possessions so that the people hearts won't be confused. Yeah. So that's the end of my presentation, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Zong, as usual, for sharing. Now we are open to discussion. Jensing, you have to restart the timer. So we have about 5 minutes to ask questions or to discuss more on this topic.
Mm.
You can unmute and ask question if you have a question. You can unmute yourself and you can also join the discussion now. So what's the question? Let me think. What you're saying is right. I think I shared before. Like I said, who is a good leader? A good leader is one who is selfless. So I think it's very difficult to work on. But I think what you said, the last part sort of rung a note with me. That when everyone keeps putting on Facebook, I really wondered, is it just for showing off? It's like, why do people do that? Because you're just, like you said, maybe you're just creating competition, or you're creating some thought in other people, which not necessarily is always good for us. So I think it's a good reminder to I'm just trying to see what I can get out of it. That we should do the things we need to do for ourselves and for our family, but maybe not overdo. I guess we can put it that way. Is how I see it. In our day to day, and don't like brag, or don't be so attached to our material possessions that I think we get stuck in that cycle. So I'll think of questions and post them to you. But yeah, I understood that this is what I think in most of, in our sharing learning, we've been trying to see how we elevate ourselves to another level where we, like, as a mother, you're governing your family, and then in the workplace, how you govern yourself as a leader. I think it is a lot to do with our own self-development of how we elevate ourselves above the material attachments. And like when we work outside, then we are doing better for ourselves inside. So that's what I get out of it. It's a lot to work on. It's very nice to say and easy to say, but sometimes it just doesn't,
Yeah.
it's like we do it and then you're like, oh, when someone else says it, like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You
So
better
the
be careful.
you're right. The I think the reason people post on Facebook or brag is because of the ego, right? Because you feel good when we brag or we boast our things or we say our achievement, so that we feel good, right? But that very action create the side effect for other people. People will feel jealous, or people will feel, oh, okay, I'm so useless, or why he achieved so much but I do not, then they feel lower themselves. Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
a key
that's
idea
I
that is.
think there is a fine line there, and we don't know when we actually cross both sides, because in a way it's good to project what you've got, like you said, it's an achievement I'm sharing with my friends and my family, thinking that they're going to support me so that we grow more. Like how we say is like you should be proud of what you're doing and be happy of your achievements. So in a way, it's like we're saying that, okay, I am happy and I said, oh, I did this, yay, like I ran the race or I ran the marathon and I won it, and yay, this is my prize. So I am happy, and I want to share it, because then people support you when you want to get support. But I think there's a very fine line. There are also, maybe there are a group of people who think well for you and they support you, but also there could be a group of people where you said, depending on where they are and how their mind works. So it could be, we can't just say, okay, everybody who posts on Facebook, maybe maybe there is a group of people who support you as well, depending on our each one's outlook on life and each one's mindset. So I think every action, I think it not maybe just the action, maybe you're posting on Facebook, maybe it's our intention behind that action, maybe that makes a difference. That's because if we look only at action, I don't think any action by itself is good or bad. I think it's the how we react to it. So as a poster, if we are really just intending to post that I want to share this with my friends because this is something that I've achieved, and it's it's giving me more fuel to go further and work harder, or focus more, rather than the intention that I create when I post that Facebook post saying that, hey, I'm going to show my friends, see, I got a nice this, I also got the first prize or something like that. I think that really makes a difference in the reaction that we get from other people, knowingly or unknowingly. I'm saying both. Maybe they'll post very nice, but in their mind they're thinking, oh my, tomorrow I'm going to get the next best thing, of that, and show. So I feel that it's a lot to do with, like you said, when we elevate, then we don't create that intention, then maybe it doesn't come back to us. May not be just the action. So I think that's what we really need to think on. That's my take on it, a little different. Yes, Jensen, thank you. That was 5 minutes. Would you like to add or have a question? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that what Dong has shared is a good reminder that we should actually not really focus too much on the material gains, but it's more to care about people around yourself. I think that's a very good reminder because in a very competitive workforce, a lot of time we are always competing against each other, and the bad side effect could be stepping on each other to achieve where you are. So I think it's a good reminder. And regarding sharing in Facebook, I think the important thing is the intent of why we are doing it. So don't really care about how kind of effect it may cause. If your intent is just to celebrate successes, I think that's perfectly fine. But if your intent is to show off, then that will be not so good. So if your friend is sharing something that they got first prize in this, they won a race, celebrate together. I think there's nothing wrong about it. So that's what I feel about sharing successes. And I think in the Asian culture, we are very shy of celebrating our successes. We are very shy that we get promoted, we got this, we got that. I think we should celebrate more. Okay, to have the positive energy. I think energy is important, but share because of the intent of wanting to share the success, not because you want to show off that I get promoted, that's why I got to be able to get a car. Not that way, but because you want to share the joy and happy for others and want others to be happy for you. That's all.
True. Thank you very much. I think that's all the time for today, and it was very interesting. Something to think about and start working on from today. Thank you, Zung, for your great insights and teaching us what you've learned. Thank you, Jensen, for being our timer for today and a great participant. So that's all for today. Bye, folks. See you next time.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.